Hey guys, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. Just thought I'd do a quick video and explain those rattles as best as I can. So you've got the rattles, bit of a rattle here, rattle there, bit of a diesel. You've just got this diesel, it's your first diesel, and you want to give me a ring and talk rattles. Unfortunately, I can't take a call from everybody to talk about the rattles, so here's a fresh video to try and explain as best as I can to you. Firstly, I'm going to remind you again, please go and watch all the other videos. You can search the channel, just use words like injectors, injector rattles, when should I replace injectors. Watch all those videos till the end in detail, and hopefully you'll see those components, and I'll explain so you can understand the injectors aren't working correctly, they're not working right, in turn wrong combustion, which causes those noises coming from the engine, which in some cases can do permanent engine damage, resulting in a cracked piston. So I hope you're listening carefully. Now, all the older vehicles, 05, 6, 7, 8, 9, you should definitely replace your injectors. We don't even need to talk about it. I've said this before. 10, 11, 12s, you should be quite serious about replacing your injectors. They're probably not full DLC and they're very old, no less than 8 years old. 2013 onwards, it's something, those ones there, the 13s, you've got to be thinking about. 14s, you're pretty close to. 15s, you're probably all right for now. You get my drift, hopefully. Now, rattles. Okay, so, you know, whether you've owned the vehicle a long time or whether you're new to ownership or it's your first diesel, a lot of people are quite confused about these rattles and what's normal and what's not. And it is really difficult to explain about, you know, what's normal and what's not, but I'm just going to do my best, okay? These diesels, you know, a lot of people tell me that other diesel people they've spoken to said they are a noisy engine. I disagree. They're not a noisy engine. They're very quiet. Okay, they're a very quiet engine, especially quiet for a diesel. We're talking about the 1KD FTV here just at the moment. There's lots of different diesel engines. This is what we specialise in, so that this is what we're working on. But any of those Toyota engines, or possibly even with a similar injection system, the Denso Common Rail system, they're all going to be kind of maybe similar. Okay, now. Rattles, how do you know when those rattles are abnormal and not normal and they're going to be a problem? Because these engines do make some noise and they do vary a lot. So a disadvantage for you is the same disadvantage as what I've got. I get to see and work on a lot of different vehicles, and I can tell you that they're all very different to each other, even when everything's working right. Sometimes, you know, there's groups, some are the same. You know, we could put some in category A, category B, and category C. We've got the A's over there, the B's and the C's, right? So there's different noises. They kind of go in groups, but they're all the normal noises. Then we've got the not normal noises. Now, I get to know what the not normal noises are because I work on so many. But I can tell you that there's a lot of normal noises as well. Now, your problem is, because you've only got one, the positive is you know your vehicle best. So if you've had it since new and you're at 100, 150, 200,000 k's and you're going, oh, you know, it started this rattle. Well, then you know there's a problem. So stop fluffing around thinking maybe trying to avoid it, because you're going to end up with an engine, not a set of injectors. Okay, so if you're not ready for that one, you want to get onto replacing the injectors, preferably before something like this happens. Now, just because we're talking rattles, it doesn't mean that if it's quiet and there's no rattles, everything's okay. That's why we like to base it on averages, okay? Now, let's talk quickly about diagnostics, just to be clear on that. All the older vehicles, 05, 6, 7, 8, 9, like the 120 Prados and the earlier Hiluxes, I could look at the diagnostic and I could tell you how old these injectors are, how many Ks they've done, sort of thing. That's how accurate it was and how well we could read these like a book, so to speak. We could read them like a book on the diagnostic screen. From 09, where they changed, about September 09, different injectors and system, the software hides all the noises. The software, you rarely pick something out on the readings. They could be going down, not up, opposite to what you normally see. So it's quite confusing and difficult, even for someone that just works mainly on these, to work out when there's a problem, okay? So some of the key things we look for is it blowing smoke? Now, Toyotas don't blow smoke, so any smoke's a bad thing, but if there's a little bit there, probably not too bad, but then it's a Toyota, so it's a little bit bad. Okay, so that's something to take into account. When I say blow smoke, don't do the, oh no, you know, I've checked, it doesn't blow smoke, or it doesn't blow much smoke, because that's what I'm talking about, that not much smoke. Okay, so We want to give it a little rev when it's cold as well, see what it does. Then we want to give it a rev when it's warm and see what it does, okay? So I'd like to have the vehicle overnight. I want to drive it when it's cold. I don't want to look at the screen when it's cold. Not on these later ones. We're talking 09 onwards for a minute, right? I want to drive it. I want to listen to it, see what it sounds like. Does it sound like the other 99%? Or does it sound like it's got, you know, a few loose nails been left on the piston or some marbles or something, you know? So if you're not trained or practiced in understanding and listening to what all the normal sounds of these engines are, you're going to have no idea. And if you put it in a video, the sound just doesn't come through the same. It sounds so different. It's almost impossible. Unless you've got something really major going on, we're not going to be able to pick it in a video. But if it's that bad, you should be able to pick it. You should go, that's not right. So if you've owned it since new or near new and something's changed, you've probably got a problem. If you're new to ownership and you've just been searching to service your vehicle and look after and do some maintenance, and you've come across these videos and you're a bit sort of worried, you're not sure, whatever, then look, bring it into us for a diagnostic to have a look and a listen. Let's suss it out. Or depending where you are, if you're not in our area, contact me in a text message and I'll try and recommend someone in your area. If we've got someone that we can trust, that can do the right thing, listen, understand, and then convey that message to you on how important it is or not. And you've always got the general recommendation based on averages, which is still currently 7 years, 170,000 Ks. I feel like I'm talking about coronavirus or something now. Stay home. The only 4 reasons you should be going out is that. No. So the advice is still the same. Schools are safe. No, that's what I feel like I'm talking, you know. The advice is still the same. Every 7 years, 170,000 Ks. Now, in case you didn't watch the other videos, firstly, I suggest you do, but I'm going to say it again. If you've done higher Ks in less time and they're full DLCs, they're going to last longer. They're going to be okay for a bit longer. What have we got this in the picture for? Well, it's better looking than me, maybe. I don't know. The videos are not about me. I'm not out to be famous. I'm trying to help you here. So if I turn the camera around like everybody else, doesn't that just mean it isn't about me? I just want to be famous. La la, here I'm parading around. I hope it shows you that it's not about me. It's about the job. And if enough people put in the comments, please turn the camera around, I might do it, but you might regret it. You never know. You know, who's curious, you know? I'll be looking in the comments to see some answers to that one. Who's curious? Do you want me to keep it going the way it is and keep the suspense there and you don't know, or do you want to get personal? Do you want to check me out? I'll be looking in the comments. So, what else can I tell you about the rattles? Well, if you've got a 2013 or a 14 and they're probably full DLCs and you've got some rattles and it's only done 100, 150,000 Ks, well that is fairly abnormal because we've seen them at 200,000 Ks where they're quiet as a mouse. But the ones we've seen at 200,000 Ks are original. The injectors have never been removed. Confirmed owners have said, I've had this one since new, nobody's touched it, I haven't let them take them out, whatever. And we, not only that, we look, we go, yep, not a mark on the pipes, the clamps, this sort of thing, right? Right, so they're the good ones. So why has yours got the rattles? Well, like this vehicle here, probably what may have happened is, as I've explained before, every 40,000 Ks on these 1KD FTVs, the service schedule tells you to check the valve clearances. The only way to check them is to measure them with a feeler gauge. To do that, you need to remove the fuel pipes. Well, you don't need to remove them. Apparently, you can just open one end and bend the fuel pipes back, which we don't like. These are clean fuel pipes. See the I don't know if you can see over there in the picture, there's a bit of dust and dirt. These are the sort of things, you know, dust and dirt, probably not that one, that falls out of these nozzle seals. You know, as you take those out from around the injectors, debris from those can fall into the injectors. Debris from the nuts that go, you know, basically you've got a situation where that's wrapping around the injector and then the pipe's going in the hole, all the dirt and everything accumulates in there for years, or whatever it is, 40,000 Ks a year or two or whatever, and we're going to open that up times 4 because there's 4 pipes and risk contamination of those injectors for the sake of checking valve clearances that we know are going to be okay. Doesn't make sense to me. The proper procedure, by the way, is to take the pipes right off and take the injectors out to work, not bend the pipes, drag the pipes out over the, you know, with a dirty valve cover scraping underneath the pipes, and then risk contamination of the injectors and then work around the injectors and leave them there. The idea is you take them out and you replace these seats under the injectors. That's what was meant to happen. And if, at least if that part happened, you would have never seen, if that was done properly, you would have never seen these seats leaking, because they do last generally over 150,000 Ks. Another reason why we recommend, based on averages, look, you know, we're just giving the information, trying to save the headaches, because we don't like it, and it's getting less and less, so it is working. Yous have done well. Australia, you guys have done well. Victoria done so well. You know, New South Wales, you've done so well. Over in the States, you guys have done so well. Oh, again, I feel like I'm a Prime Minister talking about COVID-19. In Australia, we've done so well. Well, look, you know, you have done well, all jokes aside, because I'm getting less calls on these sorts of problems. Engines, used to get it regularly, engines seized up. You know, I was just driving along and, you know, the oil light came on and the engine wasn't running, started running not well, and it kind of just stopped, and I was on the side of the road. Oh, the oil light came on. Well, that was that oil pickup blocking up because of these seats. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you've really got to go and watch the other videos, as I keep saying. I'm going to end this one. I'm just going to say rattles, it's a hard one, okay? So what can I say? You know, follow your, what are you going to follow? Follow your nose, follow your heart, follow your gut feeling. It's just the feeling of it, you know. It's just the feeling you get, you know. Don't worry about things that aren't a problem. They do make some noise, okay? If you're pretty confident it's a problem, if you haven't got any history of them being replaced, if you haven't got a history of whether they've been butchered up by bending pipes and contaminating the injectors, if you don't know what fuel's in your tank, that's your other problem, what fuel, then you just need to start fresh, do the job. If the odds are they haven't been done, get them done. We can recommend repairers, we can supply your kits, we can provide videos so you can have a look and maybe do it yourself if you're that way inclined and you've got some patience and cleanliness and you can follow procedures. Maybe that's for you, maybe it's not. Just trying to help. The other thing you can do, you can obviously book it in with us here at the Prado Hospital and we can have a listen to it. We can have a diagnostic, we can give you advice, we can book you in to one of our recommended repairers. They can do the same thing, they can have a listen. So make contact. The phone number is here. Text messages is the go. Okay. Now I just want to say one other thing. We only work generally school hours. I've said this before, but if you've just come onto the channel, you may not have worked that out. So if you ring early, too early, you're not going to get me. If you ring late, too late, you're not going to get me. If you ring when you're on your lunch break, I'm on mine. Unfortunately, you're not going to get me. The best times to try and contact me are usually Mondays, if not Tuesdays, if not Wednesday, if not Thursday, if not Friday, and that's it. So Monday to Friday, starting early in the week, starting from 9 AM, Melbourne time, just remember that one. We have a lunch break as well, and we've got lots of work to do. So we can't always answer the phone. Text me your name, your vehicle details, please, what it's regarding, and we'll prioritise getting back to you. I may be able to send you a link to a video to watch first. And it's even better if you just search the channel and watch the videos and you've got all that information. If you're one of those really organised people and you text me that in your message and look, I know what I want, I just want to book in for a diagnostic, or I just want to book in and get my injectors replaced, or I just want to come and pick up an injector kit or get you to send one out. I'm over the other side of Australia, I'm up in Broome. That's no problem, we can do that. We can provide you the videos easily, we can provide you the parts, express posts across Australia, whatever you want, we can do it. But if you're gonna try and ring to say and talk to, look, I'm just trying to explain. A lot of people are ringing going, oh, you know, I don't know if it sounds right. It's got this rattle, makes this rattle. It is really hard, okay? I'm spending some time now checking out a vehicle for someone. It's even hard for me to decide with this one. Is that a problem? Is it a big problem? Is it a small problem? Do we need to replace these injectors now, or has it got a bit longer? So that's my decision. And while I was thinking about it, I just want to provide the information for you to save you that call, because I can't hear it. I need to have the vehicle here to hear it and have opinion. Videos don't work too well. You can try it, post it up on our groups. The phone fills up very quickly with photos, videos, and all sorts of things. It doesn't work, so we don't accept that to the phone. That's why we've got all these groups here. Why we got them? So you can post all your photos, videos, information, write your story, put a video, hold the camera steady in landscape like this, you know, like a TV, not the other way. That's portrait for taking photos of someone, like a face shot. Okay, bada bing, guys. Right, subscribe if you haven't already. Give us a thumbs up if you got something out of that. And again, in the comments, let me know your questions, what you need to know. I'll read those, make more videos, give you the information. Bada bing, bada boom. Catch us there.